When I entered into 11th standard, the things were totally different. I had a complete paradigm shift in front of me because the kind of books we were studying till 10th standard and the kind of books you study in 11th and 12th standard were amazingly different, were totally different. Trust me, in one single sentence, if I could brief you about the difference, it is simply this, that the entire syllabus of your 10th, let's say maths book, was equal to one chapter of your either 11th or 12th standards mathematics. Yes, that's the difference. That's the transformation is there. That's the challenge there. So when you enter into 11th and 12th standard, there are a lot of challenges which you face. And there are a lot of things which worry you, which create a lot of concerns for you. That's exactly what we'll be addressing in this video so that you stay proactive, you resolve those issues beforehand so that you don't have to face those challenges which a lot of students face, or the kind of mistakes which a lot of students commit. Personally, when I entered into 11th standard and had somebody told me all of this, I may would have been doing something better or somewhere better. So if you want this particular advice, which will save you in ruining your 11th or 12th standard, then please have this, then please watch this. Let's get started with this discussion. The first thing is, yes, we all accept so far you may be having or topping in your section or class or school or city or district. But now, when you enter into 11th or 12th standard, now your focus is not just scoring well in your boards, but now you start focusing on building a good career. And there, competitive exams comes into picture. And when they come into picture, yes, competition come into picture. Competition comes into picture means you have to face people or students from your entire state or from your nation, or maybe internationally you may be facing competition there. So when competition comes into picture, first of all, get out of this mindset that I am standing here, somebody is standing here, somebody is standing here, how am I going to excel? Your job is to simply compete with yourself. Because whatever you have done so far till 10th standard, that foundation, that base has been built by you. Now you cannot regret over this spilt milk that, sir, I have a lot of atonement that I couldn't study better. I couldn't, or I did not study well till 10th standard. No, you cannot regret over this. Now, whatever you have done, let's accept that fact and let's start working better in our present so that our future could be better. Are you getting this point? Now, it all depends. Somebody must have studied a lot. Somebody must have worked upon a lot of skill set a lot previously. Then he may look a little above of you, and that's perfectly fine. You cannot always be the smartest person in the room. Why do you have this assumption always? And that's the wrong myth, I'll say. That's the reality which hits you terribly hard, that you cannot always be the smartest person in the room, and accept that. And it's a good thing that you have people around you who knows a lot better than you. You got to learn a lot from them. So it's good that there is competition. So don't feel like the people are there around you who are better than you. First of all, accept, embrace, and be grateful that you can learn a lot, and finally compete with yourself. Because ultimately it's your story, it's your struggle. Wherever you are today, you must have done a lot. It's your family who have been working a lot for you. It's your people around you. So you have done good. You have done decently good. You know, first of all, congratulate yourself for still being there. You made it. You made it. You made it so far. You'll do something really exceptionally well in your life. If you just keep going, if you just keep moving, if you just keep excelling, if you just keep striving, if you just keep persisting, if you just keep going, that's the key. Keep moving, keep going. That's all. So, yes, don't look at people around, just look at yourself where you are. Don't get distracted or demotivated or depressed by looking at the competition around. The first point. Second point, yes, there is no ideal timetable. till 10th standard you must have been preparing an ideal timetable, and now also you must be very much interested in creating a perfect timetable, pasting it in front of your study table. You must have been told to to create this by your teachers, by a lot of people, and then you must have tried following for 1 to 2 days, and the good things from your timetable you must have been doing, and the things which require courage, which require efforts, you might not have been doing. Because we all know, to do good things you need to put a lot of efforts, and not always the things which do good to you feel good. I hope you are learning the difference. For example, working out, that does good to you, but not always it feels good, working out or hitting the gym. Or sometimes, let's say, eating good food which keeps you healthy, it does not always feel good, but it does good to you. Controlling your anger, it does not always feel good, but it does good to you. It has its own repercussions, right? So not always the kind of things which make you feel good will do good to you in a longer run. I hope you are understanding the intent. So instead of focusing on a perfect timetable, focus on two things. Here, you will be joining an institute for your competitive exams. And then when you join an institute, there are classes. And after the classes, yes, you got to simply revise the notes, practice questions. You're given a sufficient material, the DPPs, the test and all, books, and then you got to practice the questions. So there you study, there you do the targeted study. You decide that today I had classes of maths and physics. I got to cover these many questions. I got to revise this topic. That's it. And keep it balanced. Keep it balanced. I have seen a lot of people doing amazingly well in one domain, but failing terribly in other domains. Somebody is studying a lot but deteriorating his health terribly. So for a longer run you may not be able to survive. Why are you not understanding? So it's important that you focus on your physical health, mental health, emotional health. Yes, every day, half an hour or 30 to 45 minutes you should be spending on your physical health. You jog, you walk, you run, you cycle, you swim, or you play. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. That time you should spend with people around you. Yes, this generation is not talking to anyone. They are engaged in scoring, they are engaged in watching, they are engaged in consuming a lot. Please don't do that. And yes, the third thing is eat good food. That's important. And the last thing is sleep better. Don't compromise with your sleep. The people who say that you can sleep for 3 to 4 hours in a day and still work, please don't follow those people. They simply are misguiding you. For your brain to function at its best, you need to have an adequate sleep of 7 to 8 hours. Trust me, mark my words. Don't compromise on your sleep. And then, of course, study. And effectively, you can never study more than 5 to 6 hours. 5 to 6 hours of your institution, and then 4 to 5 or 6 hours effectively or optimally or efficiently 5 to 6 hours. Those who say that I study 10 to 12 hours every day is again wrong. If they are doing it like this, they are not very much effective. So effectively, if you can study for 4 to 5 hours also, that is fine. That is way better. And not every day it will be happening like this. It will be a sinusoidal wave. Some days you'll be studying for 2 hours only. Some days you'll be studying for 4 hours. And that's how it will keep moving. Ups and downs will be there. So a myth like perfect timetable doesn't exist. Please understand that. Perfect timetable is a simply myth. The next mistake which a lot of students commit is they start following a lot of books. Look at Steve Jobs. When the simple philosophy he had was that he wanted to stay focused on the things which matter. So in his wardrobe, he always had one black t-shirt and blue denim. That pair he had. So he used to wear that same black t-shirt and blue denim. Of course, multiple pairs there were, but the same, so that he did not have to waste time in deciding what to wear. And that's exactly what happens, that I have seen students creating a library in their study room. If you have multiple things around you, you will end up studying nothing at all. Please trust me. So first of all, the material provided to you by the institute is enough. The coaching material is always sufficient. The books, the material, the theory, the notes, the questions, they are always sufficient. And you are never done with these questions, and then you start asking, sir, what kind of books should I solve? Let's say still if you want to solve one book for each subject is fine, but you create a library in your house. Please don't do that. You'll end up focusing on nothing, and you'll be distracted and pressurized that you have to study a lot. And your parents will be bragging about this, that look at our child, how much he studies. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Now, This is again a problem. When you start preparing for the competitive exams, you fall in love with one subject and you start neglecting or ignoring the other subjects. Maths is like addiction. Once you start solving it, you start enjoying it, you start loving it. It is such a logical and straightforward subject. And then you start denying chemistry for a while. And then you say that I'll top in IDJE with mathematics only. That's a myth. You need to strike the right balance. Right balance. First of all, keep it balanced, all the three subjects. If not, then in the worst case, two should be your favorite subjects and one should be maintained an average. And ideally, for a JE aspirant, what I will prescribe is chemistry and physics is what you should fall in love with because they'll definitely help you in scoring better. Look at the score of any topper. They always score amazingly well in chemistry and physics and average in maths because maths doesn't let you score more. It is such a subject, it has its nature like that. The examination, the questions, the pattern, it will not let you score more in that. So study more of physics and chemistry and then maths. We pray that students fall in love with chemistry and physics and give then they give priority to maths afterwards. So yes, keep it balanced. Keep it balanced. The next conclusion is yes, one outing with your friends or one movie or one celebration or one party. If you do it very often, the backlog starts getting created. It gets piled on. And it's a chain, which means if you are skipping something today, it will affect your tomorrow because you will not be able to study tomorrow's lecture and then upcoming lecture and then upcoming lecture. And if you haven't practiced certain amount of questions, then again, you are making a mistake here, which means things are getting piled up. And now you feel depressed. Now you feel demotivated that yes, I am now able to do it. I'm not able to, you know, compensate for it. So work on holidays as well, work on leaves as well. That if you have this Sunday, then try to cover that backlog. First of all, don't let it get created. And if it has gotten created, cover it as soon as possible. If you delay it, it will create a big hurdle, a big problem. One small backlog will make you go, terribly wrong, terribly mad, because it will create a lot of hurdles in the upcoming future. So don't let it get created. So I hope we are very much clear with what you should be doing, what you should not be doing in 11th and 12th standard to save it. With that, let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience. Take a good care of yourself.